What makes a woman high value? Maybe let's start with that. Like, what makes a woman valuable to a guy?
I can't say as a guy, but I've dated women. I'm not sure if that is helpful.
Well, let's talk about men. So let's see if you guys have some advice, have some insight on what you think makes a woman high value to a guy. Like, why should a guy choose you over the other 4 billion women, sort of thing?
Sorry, my dog. Hold on.
Like right on cue.
Yeah, dog starts smashing the squeezy toy. So what makes a guy, or sorry, a woman high value to a guy? Like, what does she need to bring to the table?
That's a really good question. I definitely think a woman needs to be able to respect not only her boundaries, but her partner's boundaries. And if that is, taking down provocative photos, then that makes the woman high value. If she does take down those photos, if she does respect his boundaries in order to stay in the relationship, then that is a high value woman. Somebody that doesn't choose her friends over her partner is a high value woman. Somebody that chooses her partner first rather than her guy friends is a high value woman. Choosing, definitely, choosing that relationship over validation is also very, very important. So
Is this something that you've always believed, or is this a recent?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%.
Where does this come from? Like, where did you learn this?
Big man upstairs.
God.
Oh, him. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. And
so
my
it all
grandma.
comes. So it all comes from religion, culture, family.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Alexandra, so what makes a woman high value to men?
I think everything that Sophie said is right on target. I think a high value woman is confident. Like, there's this music video out there to where I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm horrible with recall. But she walks into a room and all eyes are on her, and the music video is just, that's a high value woman. It's just her essence is what makes a woman high value. Her confidence.
Who's the artist in the music video?
I'm gonna have to go back and look at it, and I'll get back to you on it. But that woman's essence, it rocks you to your core, and it really makes you feel like that's what I want to be. That's what I want to achieve. It's not, what you bring to the table every single time. It's who you are at your core and what characteristics and values that you have and the discipline that you have. Because when you walk into a room, you're either, bringing the confidence of who you are and what you represent, or you're just going to be in the corner and blend in with everybody else. So for me, a high value woman is somebody that stands out, commands a room, but also has the soft, sensitive side. And that's one thing that I'm really learning, is it's not always about being the strong, independent woman, the woman that you ask what she brings to the table and she starts listing all her accolades, all her accomplishments. That's only going to get you so far.
You think men are concerned with women's accolades, accomplishments, degrees?
I think that there's a pool of men that may be intimidated by that, but then those are just betas, in my opinion. And the alphas go after the woman that can hold her own, that can hold up the kingdom while he may have to step away, that can run his own business, and knows his business like the back of her hand. And it's like the whole wolf mentality, or the lion, however you put it.
I guess question for all the ladies is, can a woman be an alpha?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not. No, that's a man's job. Man is supposed to be the alpha. That's their job.
I guess what defines alpha?
Well, you got to think about it. If you're walking down the street, are you combat ready? You gonna fight next to your man? No, you're gonna run. He's gonna fight. You're gonna run. That's an alpha. Our job as women is to be emotionally available for our men, to obviously, help them emotionally and to help them, have somebody to be there for them, to listen. Men are supposed to fight. That's kind of like.
Okay.
job. So when it comes to anything masculine, I would say, when it comes, like, if somebody were to break into my home, right, and I'm with my husband or my boyfriend or whatever it is, he would have to take on that person, that intruder. That's his job. That's not my job.
Yeah.
I'm not the alpha in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about that, guys. Come on.
Alexandra, Ashley, what do you guys
I
think?
mean, you hit it on the head. You said in that moment.
Yeah.
So life is just accumulation of moments, of what moments are important to you. I think if you're with the right man, you can really flourish in your feminine energy. But I think at the beginning, you have to protect that feminine energy. And sometimes it is with the masculine energy. If I would have had the feminine energy of putting all my eggs into my ex's basket because emotionally I needed to be there for him and I'm going to wholeheartedly support you and not watch out for myself, well, I wouldn't have bought my own house and started my own career and done all of those things. So in some cases you have to be that alpha within yourself, but don't go head to head with your own husband. It's you and your husband against the problem, not you and your husband against each other.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ashley?
I don't know what the full definition for an alpha is, like what qualifies as an alpha.
Well, I don't think I would explain it, more so from the sense of your perspective of understanding and your scope of like, exposure to it is can a woman be an alpha? You've probably heard the term alpha female, right?
No.
No, you don't think so?
I haven't heard that term, so I don't. I feel like I wouldn't be able to answer properly because sorry.
Taylor, welcome back.
A woman can be an alpha on her own, but if she's in a relationship, she's not the alpha. That's just the bottom line.
Okay. Kayla,
That's it.
want to hear from you on this. Can a female be an alpha?
Yeah,
Explain.
absolutely. I mean, okay, so I would consider myself pretty alpha, pretty dom, honestly, and I would be looking for someone who, again, is very similar. So I don't have a problem with being an alpha with another alpha and us taking on the world or whatever life together. So I mean, I would, yeah.
Okay.
But how would that work in terms of a relationship? I mean, if you have how can two people lead a relationship? I mean, how would that manifest itself?
So I said earlier that I want someone who also still has their own life, and I have my own life, but we enjoy being with each other. So I'm not looking for someone to lead my life for me. I have a pretty full life to where I enjoy everything that I do. And I want someone else who also has a pretty full life and they enjoy what they do. So I don't want someone who's going to like try and tell me how the relationship's going to be. You know what I mean?
Right, but within a relationship, there are decisions that are made that affect the relationship, whether that's going on trips or let's say you ever got married again and you want to have kids and you need to figure out what state you're going to live in or what school you're going to send them to or who's going to work or who's going to make the majority of the money or how you're going to pay bills. Like all of those things come into play in a relationship, right? There are things you have to talk about together. So how do those decisions ultimately get made? If there's a 50-50 split as far as responsibility and decision making goes, and you have two opposing ends of the decision making process, you want to do A and he wants to do B, how do you ultimately come to a decision on what to do?
Like if it was a trip and I wanted to go somewhere and he didn't, he doesn't have to go. That would be more money spent on him going anyways, and vice versa. If he wants to go somewhere, I mean, shoot, go. Like I'm fine here. I'm very happy here. I'll just continue what I'm doing here and then he can go. When it comes to buying a house and someone doesn't like the house, we're not going to get the house, right? So if it comes to like a car, if someone doesn't like the car, let's figure out something else.
But do you think men have some sort of authority over making decisions, though, when it comes to like certain decisions, when it comes to like your safety or your well-being, like you said, a house or whatever, like what school the kids are going to go to. But when it comes down to like your well-being and your safety, do you think men should have that authority over the decision that they make? Your decision? I feel like they should.
My safety?
Yeah, like let's say you're going down two paths and you want to go down this path, but your boyfriend or your husband wants to go down this path, even though it's longer, and he wants to take this one because he knows it's safer. Are you going to listen to him or are you going to go down your own path?
I'm not a dummy who would go down the wrong path, like a bad path. And I'm probably a better shot than most guys that I know with a gun. So I'm not too worried about a man making my decisions.
But if you're in a relationship with him, let's say it's not just like some random guy, but if it's like a guy you're in a relationship with and you trust him and you've built this emotional, connection with him and everything like that. And then he's like, hey, you know what? I think this is a safer route and we're going to go down this route. Okay. We're going to go down this path. And you're like, no, but I think this path is better. I'm going to go down this path. And you go down that path and you get killed. You should have listened to him, because he has authority. You know what I mean? It's like,
because why would he know better than me? Unless, like, I come from a relationship where I made all of the decisions.
Yeah.
And
that was your marriage, or was that together?
What? Hold on.
That was your marriage where you made all the decisions?
Yep.
Do you think, do you find it attractive in the relationship when you're making all the decisions, when you have to make the calls, or do you have an expectation that he's to make some?
I'm a pretty smart woman. I like all the decisions that I made, even in our marriage. And it got me where I am today. And I really love where I'm at today. So I wouldn't do anything differently.
Do you, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I'll just say it.
No.
Oh my God.
So the question I got for you, Kayla, is if you were to describe the top, let's say the top 5 traits of your ideal man, like what would they be? Like,
are we talking about looks or like characteristics?
Both. Or you can do 5 of each. If you want to do 5 looks, 5 characteristics, whatever. But just give me the top traits you would look for in your ideal partner.
Good communication skills, emotional maturity, a great sense of humor because I'm pretty sarcastic. Those are 3, I guess, characteristics. They're on my hinge.
Mm-hmm.
Well into his career. We already discussed that.
Established, yeah.
Huh?
Established in a career, yeah.
Yeah, established. And just like a good personality, like a good person, gets along well with others, not someone who's trying to make decisions for other people. Like, one of my deal breakers is someone who has like very strict political views, is because it just constantly feels like they're bringing those up about what other people should be doing. Whereas, like, we're all here and I kind of feel like everybody's going to answer for their own things at the end of the day.
Do you have political views, or are you just like blanket across the board?
I just kind of, my political views are people can do what they want as long as they're not hurting other people. Other than that, I feel like it's just, I'm way happier with life not being concerned about other people's lives. I've got enough that maybe.
So not enforcing their political views on you, if I understand you correctly. Okay.
Right. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Right. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.